Like a lot of people whose lives come to sticky or ignominious ends, Dick Ellis's time on Earth was ruined by the butterfly effect. All it took was the bodies of 2 Russian secret agents to be discovered, one machine-gunned to death at point-blank range and dumped on a lonely road in Lausanne, Switzerland. The other, a supposed suicide by self-inflicted gunshot in a Washington, D.C. hotel room, for his reputation to begin to unravel completely. It would take time, decades, for that to happen, but there was no escaping Ellis's ultimate fate. It mattered not that he was widely admired, possessing a most refreshing sense of humour which made being in his company always a most enjoyable and rewarding experience, or that he was greatly liked and trusted in his day. Ellis's achievements as a soldier and intelligence agent would evaporate into irrelevance. No matter what he said or didn't say, no matter how much evidence he presented to prove his case, it made no difference because simple suspicion of collaboration with the enemy was enough to ruin him both in life and in death for perpetuity. That is the fate of spies accused of such an unforgivable crime. Soviet secret agent Ignaz Reiss, codenamed Ludwig, a.k.a. Ignaz Poretsky and Hans Eberhardt, had vowed never to go back to Moscow. In 1937, World War II was on the distant horizon, and Russian dictator Joseph Stalin was picking off his rivals and perceived enemies one by one in the unprecedented purges that had started the year before. For Reiss, then based in Paris but who'd served in Berlin, Vienna and Amsterdam, an idealistic Trotskyite, any return to the Soviet Union would mean certain death. He'd be far better off taking his chances in exile, but he wasn't going to exit quietly. His old friend and comrade, Walter Krivitsky, who in his 1939 book In Stalin's Secret Service described himself as chief of the Soviet military intelligence in Western Europe, would write that Reiss had worked for years in our secret service abroad and had been deeply shocked by the purge of the old Bolsheviks and the treason trials, and was already determined to break away from Moscow. Those were the days when ambassadors and ministers, to say nothing of special agents, were being recalled from all over the world to be shot or imprisoned in Moscow, when even the leading generals of the Red Army were bound for the firing squad.